I'm about to show you in this video how I was able to save $1,000 in just 2 weeks. This is $1,000 in my hand right now. And if you ain't got $1,000 saved up, then there's a problem that you need to solve. So congratulations, because you just made your first step to saving your first $1,000. Now listen up, because I didn't just learn this from out the blue. I didn't watch somebody else's video in order for me to actually do this. $1,000 isn't a lot of money. So we can do this quite fast. But the problem is your mindset about money isn't fixed right now. You see, just a year and some change ago, I was living in an apartment paying almost $2,000 for rent, barely had money coming in because I was door dashing, I was doing content, I was literally living paycheck to paycheck as an entrepreneur because I was ambitious about making money online. And that's cool and everything, but the problem is I wasn't making enough and my expenses were too high. But there's some systems that you need to set up in order for you to save your first $1,000. Now listen up. The first thing is lower your expenses. Jay, I already live low enough. No, you don't. I'm telling you right now, you can split rent with someone. I'm always an advocate of lowering the biggest bill first, because that's going to save you the most amount of money. See, if your rent is $1,000, then if you split it with someone, then now you got $500 immediately back into your cash flow. You get what I'm saying? So now you got $500. Now you just need to do it again. In 2 months, you got $1,000. Jay, I already split rent. Great. Split it with someone else. A lot of people, especially men, especially my old self, I didn't want to drop my ego and say, well, I need to move back in with my people, or, well, I need to split up rent. Okay? Because society will make you feel like if you're not taking care of everything and on point and making the most money, then you're a failure. But I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not a failure. You're just building the steps in order for you to become the man or the person that you want to be financially. But you got to lower your expenses, because a lot of the times we have expenses that we don't really need. One of the things that, or three of the things that I cut off just this month. Number one, I cut off a checking account that was charging me like $15 just to keep it open. Like, bro, I don't need to be $15 poorer. You get what I'm saying? I can use that $15 somewhere else. Another thing that I canceled, all right, was subscriptions like Hulu and Netflix. There's no reason for me to have it. Number one, I know plenty enough people to just use a login. And y'all can watch this video and get pissed off if you want to. I could care less. I don't even be watching it like that. When I watch Netflix, I be watching money shows about how people can budget their money better. You get what I'm saying? So I don't pay for no subscriptions. The only subscription that I pay for me to watch videos is YouTube. And I use YouTube to learn. And you're using it to learn right now too. So congratulations to you. Now listen up. Number two is to get consistent income. You got to have a 9-to-5, bro. If you need to save money, if you need to save your first $1,000, you need to get a 9-to-5. I know so many people online tell you that you can start a YouTube channel, start creating content. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to give you a peace of mind when you got consistent income coming in. And this is something that I wish I would have learned when I was younger, when I was 22, 23, 24. I'm 28 right now, bro. And I don't feel as though like I'm behind, because I don't like to compare myself to other people, but I do like to get inspired. But what I will say is everybody starts from some place, but the earlier you start, the better. But you need consistent income, so when you want to venture off and make multiple streams of income, then you can do it with a peace of mind and not from scarcity, not from begging, not from feeling like money isn't abundant. When you're poor, when you don't have money saved up, you think money is tight, and it's not. People spend money every single day. This is why I love being around businesses or a busy area, because it shows me that people got bread. People are spending money. People are investing into themselves, and they're also wasting money. And they also throw money away by paying something called interest on car loans, on credit cards, everything. Okay, so money is abundant, bro. They keep printing it. Why don't you have your first 1,000? Why don't you have your 1,000? Why did you lose your 1,000? Let me know in the comment section down below. By the way, if you're interested with monetizing your own YouTube channel and having multiple streams of income investing into stocks, then join the Cash Flow Creators Club. Link is in the description down below. All right. Number three on how I saved over $1,000 in just 2 weeks is I divided my income by percentages. Too many people, when they get their paycheck, they be thinking like, oh, well, I got my paycheck. Thank you, sir. I got my $1,000. Let me go ahead and put $60 into my savings. And every time I get paid, I'm going to take out $60 into my savings. Oh, and I got paid again. I'm gonna put $60 into my savings. The problem with that is they're either saying, oh, I need a 20. I need to get, it's a little emergency. I need to get some gas in my car. Oh, got a flat tire. Okay, so that's 60 more dollars. Let me go ahead and get a tire. Okay, I'm just throwing the numbers out there. You get what I'm saying? And so now their savings stash is decreasing, but they're only putting a fixed amount into their savings account. What you want to do is have something called a variable. Listen to me closely. Instead of putting $60 into your savings account, put 20% of your paycheck into your savings account. I'm throwing that percentage out there. What I put in my savings account is about 15 to 18% every time I get paid. And that's off of my savings goal. So once I hit about 10 grand in savings, I'm going to lower that percentage. But you need to prioritize your savings so you can have a peace of mind, because a lot of people treat their savings like an emergency when you need to treat your savings like a peace of mind. When you start looking at your savings like a peace of mind, you start to question yourself, man, if I'm spending my peace of mind account, I'm losing peace. You get what I'm saying? Now you're getting yourself closer and closer to worrying again about money. And you don't want to be in that position because you've probably been there before, and you probably keep on ending up being there before. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how much money you make. It matters what you do with what you make. All right. So put a percentage. Instead of putting $60, let's say we put 20%. If your paycheck, let's say it's $1,000 every 2 weeks. All right. And you put 20%, 20% of 1,000 is $200, bro. So now every time that you get paid, you're putting in a bigger amount than a fixed amount. And you know what this means? When you work overtime or when you get more income, that 20% grows. So now when you get overtime, let's say you get an overtime paycheck or you get a second job and you get hypothetically $2,000 paycheck in 2 weeks, then that 20% turns into $400. The more money you make, the more money you're putting in that savings account. This is the beauty about it, man, because you're living by percentages and you're going to be able to stack your money a lot faster. Okay. Number 4 is separate your savings into an offshore account. Okay, if you guys have ever heard of offshore accounts or watched a movie where some crime boss had an offshore account where the U.S., the feds couldn't touch their money or something like that, you need to start treating your savings like that. Let me be clear. I have a Capital One account. This is where my direct deposit comes through at this time. But when I get my paycheck, I have about 15 to 18% of my paycheck coming to my savings in my Capital One account, and I transfer that immediately. Okay, I transfer about $400 of that. I transfer that immediately into my Amex high yield savings account. A high yield savings account pays you interest just for having money sitting there. So let's say I put $100 into my Amex savings account. Okay, I put $100 into there. Let's say the interest rate's like 3%. That means every year I'm earning $3 on my $100. That's not a lot of money. But when you keep doing it and you're not touching your savings, every $100 turns into another $3. So that's $6. You get what I'm saying? And so now eventually you're going to have $1,000. That's $30 a year. That ain't a lot of money, but it's more than $1 a month, and it adds up over time. Meanwhile, you got something called compound interest, which means if you get that, let's say you got $1 in interest paid every single month. Right? Hypothetically, you got a dollar coming in every single month. You add that dollar to your 100. Now that dollar is earning you interest again. Okay. That dollar is earning you 3 cents a year. I know these numbers are low, but I'm speaking to break it down on a very, very, like watered down version. Okay. Obviously you're not going to be wanting to just earn 3 cents a year. You understand? But an offshore account is something that I consider something that I can't touch. I'm not no federal agent, but I'm going to treat my account like I am one. And if it gets real bad, you just take your money out, hold it, don't spend it. Now, some of y'all might have problems with that, though. I ain't going to lie to you, because if you touch cash, you're going to want to spend it at the club or something like that. If you go to a club, man, that's a whole different video. I got to make a whole different video for y'all, man. But let me be clear on this, okay? When you have an offshore account, you need to make sure that the transfers aren't instant. All right. Because that Cash App stuff, that, plug in your debit card and get instant transfers and they take a fee. Now they stealing your money in order for you to spend it and waste it anyways, when you need to be saving it. So having your savings in an account that takes 1 to 3 business days all the time, like there's no expedited, there's no fee because you want to, instantly transfer. That's going to help you build a barrier and force yourself into not pulling from your savings when you really want to spend it in the moment. All right. Sometimes you got to force yourself and set up systems. You don't have to even force yourself, actually. You're just setting up systems for you to have a more difficult time to actually get something that you want. That's not going to help you in the long term. If you guys like these type of videos, definitely subscribe. Join the Cashflow Creators Club. Link is in the description down below. I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm out. Let's get it.